What's going on, DZ team? It's Z here. Welcome back to another video. It's been a little while, been a little bit busy, but that's okay because we're coming right back at it like we've never missed a day. So recently I've been doing a lot of private security contract work, and I like to take lessons / nuggets and then give them to you guys based off stuff that I learned and things that I pick up on based on the job that I'm doing, because I do a bunch of different things in the private security realm. So without further ado, let's go over 5 lessons and tips that I learned that you guys might be able to adopt if you're in the private security realm or you're in a civilian context and in the protector mindset, and you just need some more tools for your tool belt. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright guys, real quickly, my name is Zamora. If you're new here, I'm the founder and owner of Dropzone Tactical. We are a firearms and medical training academy based out of Kyle, Texas. So if you want to come take training with us, go and check the links down in the bio. Now that we've gotten the quick plug-in out of the way, the 5 lessons I learned doing a private security job recently. So the first one is that you can get away with a lot as an individual. When you walk up to a hotel, a restaurant, whatever, you can get away with a lot. And why do I say that? Well, this brings me into my second point, that confidence is key to a majority of your problems. So you can get away with a lot of things if you have confidence. Those point 1 and 2 coincide together, because if you don't have confidence and you're unsure of yourself, you will notice that a lot of the time you're going to be looked at as an individual who doesn't know what they're doing, or you're trying to get away with something, or you're trying to scam something, right? People that have a job, a mission, task, and are confident in their abilities and skills walk with a certain presence. They come with a certain level of knowledge, if you will, that when challenged with questions and you respond with answers adequately, people automatically assume that you know what you're doing, you know more than them, and that you're in the right place at the right time, kind of thing, if you understand what I'm saying there, right? So confidence is very key to a lot of stuff. For example, if I walk up to you and say, I'm security here, this is such and such building, right? It doesn't make it sound as confident as like, hey, do you mind parking my vehicle? I'm doing security up there on the 4th floor, 3rd floor, 20th floor, whatever. Cool. And don't get into specifics, right? Don't give up too much information if you're not allowed to. There was a job that I did recently that doesn't allow me to speak about my specifics and tries to not expose myself as security. So it's like an undercover thing. So I dressed in plain clothes, right? Which, the next thing brings me to my third point is know your environment. It's very important to know what environment you're going to be in, right? So for example, if I'm going to a fancy hotel, if I'm going to a gym, if I'm going to a just casual area, what environment am I going into, and will my attire expose me too early, give people an inkling that I might be somebody that I don't want to give myself away as, right? So when I did my undercover thing, I was at more of a fancier type businessy area, but also in a place where people are partying at 2 a.m. So I need to dress in a way where I'm not wearing black cargo pants and tactical shirts, right? I had to dress something of, I was like a guest at a specific spot, right? At my location. I have to dress in a manner that did not give myself away, but also let me blend in with other people. So part of that as well was going to the bar area and sitting alone and just kind of hanging out, acting like if I was just, part of the group. And nobody asked me really questions, and I was able to get away with a lot of stuff that allowed me to do my job without any issues. So there's that. So now let's go into our fourth point. Our fourth point here is have different clothes for different environments. Again, 3 and 4 kind of go with each other, but have different clothes for different environments, right? If you're in the private security realm, and you do executive protection, then you will know that there's going to be a lot of different environments. Your client is going to be different depending on your contracts, and you're going to need different clothes for different things. You might need formal, you might need business casual, you might need tactical, you might need whatever to be able to blend in into those environments. So make sure that you wear adequate clothing based off where you're going. Do some research. Google Maps is phenomenal for photos, right? Go and use your resources. You have a smartphone that you're probably watching this video on right now. All right, so now let's go into my fifth point. My last point here is communication is vital to accomplishing any sort of task. So if you're working in team environments, or if you're working where you have to relay information to somebody in the private security realm, to a higher up for anything, communication is vital. Make sure that you are confident in the way you speak, right? Going back to our second point. And if you're having to speak to other employees, guests, staff, whatever, even your principal, make sure that communication is top tier. You might seem like, oh, you're rambling on too much to them, but you're probably not if it's useful information. Things change, environments change, updates happen. You've now unlocked free parking at an area, right? Because you spoke to staff and you came to a mutual agreement. They know what you're doing, you know what they're doing, and now you get free parking because they're like, all right, you're good, dude, right? Communication is vital. There were a couple of hiccups a few times in my job where there was lack of communication on another party's part, which made issues occur, like being on site at too early, right? Paying money for things that we didn't have to pay for, things of that sort. Though they were reimbursed, it prevented that whole loop of having to do that. So communication is vital. So quickly, let's go back over our points and what we've talked about here from my lessons of doing private security work. So first one is that you can get away with a lot. I've walked into a lot of areas and I just walked with a sense of confidence. Like, I had a point B. I was from point A to point B, and I was just beelining it to where I needed to go. And it works. Just doing that alone, it works. So try it if you ever want to go and play around, do a social experiment. Just walk to a place, and I guarantee you can get into a lot of places that you probably didn't think that you would be able to get to. Point number 2 is confidence is key for a majority of your problems. Speak with confidence, walk with confidence, do your job with confidence. It will deter a lot of your issues going into an environment, coming out of an environment, and in the middle of your job or whatever. Your third is knowing your environment. Know where you're going to go, know different places and what the environment consists of, demographic, clothing types, the people that are there, what are their energies going to be, right? Fourth one, have different clothes for different environments. Don't always wear cargo pants. Have different things to be versatile and adaptable to whatever environment you're in without having to go to the store, buy something, pick out an outfit, make sure it looks good. Do that ahead of time and you should be good. Now, the fifth one is communication is vital to accomplishing any sort of task, whether you're in a team environment or you're reporting to a supervisor or you have your family, your spouse, whatever. If updates change, it is good to constantly update whoever needs to be updated so plans can be made accordingly and you can adapt to the environment better. So those are my 5 tips and 5 lessons that I learned doing a recent private security job and one of my first undercover security jobs, if you will. So another thing, right, I noticed, just a quick little bonus tip, is that there's 2 main things that I notice, or 2 things that define what allows a person to accomplish those 5 things, right? And it's your purpose, sometimes a job title, right? Because if you were to go and do something, somebody dared you to go and do something, you're out with the family or the kids and stuff, you typically probably wouldn't go and do stuff unless you had a job title, unless you had a mission, unless you had a task. So if you're not doing private security, but you need to do something that puts you out of the bounds of just regular civilian, if you kind of catch my drift. In your mind, there should be a switch, and that switch allows you to become a protector and do protector-like things. Now, I'm not advocating for you to do anything against the law or anything of that sort, but right? If you need to go into protector mode, you need to have a switch. And sometimes in your mind, you need to tell yourself, okay, I have a job, I have a mission set. If you need to, here's my job title. I am working for somebody, and that somebody is yourself and your family. That might be the key for you to flip that switch to enable you to do whatever it needs to be done for that protector mindset. So that's my little bonus tip there, because sometimes titles and saying that, hey, it's okay to do these things is needed. So that's my tips and bonuses for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those tips and took something out of it. Let me know down below what you thought about it, anything that could be added or taken away. Or any questions you might have for me. I read the comments, so let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.